Why being alone makes you stronger. Stoicism. This is a truth that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. From the moment we wake up, we reach for connection, noise, distraction, and approval. We check our phones, scroll through endless opinions, and surround ourselves with voices so that we never have to sit quietly with our own thoughts. Yet the ancient Stoic philosophers believed that solitude was not something to fear. It was something to master. They understood that the strongest individuals in history were not those constantly surrounded by crowds, applause, or validation. The strongest people were those who could stand alone, think alone, and build themselves in silence. When you learn to be comfortable alone, something powerful begins to happen inside you. Your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become sharper, your confidence no longer depends on the approval of others. Instead of chasing attention, you begin building strength from within. In today's world, where constant noise and endless comparison dominate our lives, learning to be alone has become one of the greatest forms of power. This video will show you why solitude can transform your mind, strengthen your character, and give you a level of inner stability that most people never achieve. If you're someone who feels misunderstood, someone who spends time alone thinking about life, or someone trying to build a stronger version of yourself, then this message is for you. And before we continue, make sure you subscribe to this channel because we explore powerful Stoic ideas that help you build discipline, clarity, and mental strength in a chaotic world. Most people think being alone means something is wrong. Society has conditioned us to believe that solitude is a sign of loneliness, rejection, or weakness. When someone spends too much time by themselves, people start asking questions. They assume that person must be unhappy or disconnected. But Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a training ground for the mind. When you are constantly surrounded by people, your thoughts are influenced by their expectations, their emotions, and their judgments. It becomes difficult to hear your own voice. But when you step away from the crowd, you finally create space for self-reflection. This is where growth begins. The Stoics believed that the mind must regularly withdraw from the noise of society in order to strengthen itself. Just like muscles grow through resistance and recovery, the mind grows through moments of quiet contemplation. When you spend time alone, you begin to examine your beliefs, your goals, and your fears. You start asking deeper questions about who you are and what kind of life you want to build. This process is uncomfortable at first. Many people avoid solitude because it forces them to confront their own insecurities. But those who learn to sit with themselves eventually discover a powerful sense of clarity. They realize that much of the pressure they feel comes from external expectations rather than their true desires. And once you see this clearly, you gain the ability to shape your life based on your own principles rather than the opinions of the crowd. There is another reason solitude makes you stronger. It removes your dependence on constant validation. In today's world, many people measure their worth through likes, comments, attention, and approval. Every action becomes a performance for others to judge. But when you spend time alone, you slowly break this habit. You begin doing things not because they will impress someone else but because they align with your values. This is where true confidence is born. Real confidence is not loud. It does not demand recognition. It grows quietly from the knowledge that you are capable of standing on your own. The Stoics believed that a wise person should be able to maintain peace whether surrounded by crowds or standing alone. Their stability came from within, not from the reactions of others. When you develop this inner independence, you become incredibly resilient. Criticism loses its power over you. Praise no longer controls your direction. You stop chasing approval and start building character. This shift changes everything. Instead of constantly reacting to the world, you begin acting with intention. Instead of being pulled in every direction by other people's expectations, you move forward with quiet determination. This is why many of history's greatest thinkers, leaders, and creators valued solitude so deeply. They understood that powerful ideas are rarely born in noisy environments. They emerge during moments of silence when the mind has space to think freely. Another hidden strength of solitude is that it forces you to develop a deeper relationship with yourself. Many people go through life without truly understanding their own minds. They distract themselves with endless entertainment, conversations, and obligations so that they never have to face their internal world. But when you are alone, distractions fade away. You start noticing your patterns of thought, your fears, your motivations, and your habits. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. But over time, this self-awareness becomes one of the most valuable tools you can develop. The Stoics practiced constant self-examination because they believed that mastering the mind was the foundation of a strong life. When you understand yourself clearly, you gain control over your reactions and decisions. Instead of being ruled by impulses or emotions, you learn to respond thoughtfully. You begin identifying weaknesses that need improvement and strengths that can be cultivated further. This process transforms solitude into a powerful form of self-education. Instead of learning only from the world outside you, you begin learning from the world within. This kind of awareness gives you an advantage that many people never develop. While others are constantly reacting to circumstances, you are observing, reflecting, and improving. If you are still watching this video, it means you are someone who values growth and deeper thinking. That is exactly what this channel is about. If you want more videos that explore Stoic wisdom, mental discipline, and strategies for building a stronger mindset, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Every video here is designed to help you think more clearly, live more intentionally, and develop the kind of inner strength that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. Solitude is not about isolating yourself from the world forever. Stoicism never encouraged people to abandon society. Instead, it taught that periods of intentional solitude allow you to return to the world stronger and wiser. When you learn to be comfortable alone, your relationships also become healthier. You stop depending on others to complete you. Instead, you connect with people from a place of strength and self-respect. You appreciate their presence without needing their validation. This creates deeper, more authentic relationships because they are built on mutual respect rather than emotional dependence. People who fear being alone often tolerate unhealthy situations simply because they cannot imagine standing by themselves. But someone who has mastered solitude knows that their peace is more valuable than forced companionship. This awareness protects them from manipulation, negativity, and toxic environments. They choose relationships that align with their values rather than relationships that simply fill silence. The truth is that many of the greatest transformations in life happen when no one is watching. The workouts you do in an empty gym, the books you read late at night, the ideas you write down in silence, the goals you plan while the world is distracted. These quiet moments are where strength is built. Success rarely begins in front of an audience. It begins in solitude where discipline, clarity, and resilience are developed. The Stoics believed that character is shaped not by what we display publicly but by what we practice privately. When you learn to value these quiet moments, you stop fearing solitude and start using it as a tool for growth. You realize that time alone is not wasted time. It is an investment in the person you are becoming. The next time you find yourself alone, resist the urge to immediately step into distraction. Instead, take a moment to observe your thoughts. Reflect on your goals. Ask yourself whether the life you are building aligns with the person you want to become. These simple practices, repeated consistently, can transform the way you think and live. Over time, solitude becomes less intimidating and more empowering. You begin to understand that strength is not measured by how many people surround you but by how steady you remain when you stand alone. And remember, if this message resonates with you and you want more content like this that explores Stoicism, mental discipline, and personal growth, make sure you subscribe to this channel and join this community of people committed to becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient every day.